Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I want to say all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth and righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed on serving the Lord, the dead in Yahushai shall arise first. To you sisters who believe, keep encouraging and supporting your brothers who out here teaching this truth, and always commemorate the sister who washed Yahushai feet when you read the scriptures. This video I want to talk about. Basically, y'all know me. I always like to talk about conflict resolution, but sometimes I'm a little hypocritical about it. Because when you're dealing with brothers in the truth, right, I feel less wronged by brothers in the truth, but sometimes there are things that we do have to talk about. You know, not because brothers do foul shit on purpose like niggas in the world, but, you know, but, the hypocrite part comes in mostly with my people that are not in the faith, because some of them, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the nigga who got me my job that I'm working with now is a piece of shit, and I have nothing ever to say to him again. You know, but that's not a friendship that needs to be restored anyway. He's a scumbag, and you know, it took me 25 years of friendship to prove it. I've known him almost as long as I've been in the truth. Like, maybe I was about a year in before I met him. He was a student of mine, actually. You know, I was a tutor, an English tutor back when I was in college. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. In terms of how we resolve our problems in this truth, like, you know, I might say, you know what? You know, we need to do this better, whatever. Or if a brother does do something, because the scriptures do say brothers are going to wrong brothers. I have been wronged by brothers in the truth. But when you look at just life, you can't go on being angry. I had a bad habit of getting mad and not confronting the person I was mad at and typing a fucking book on Facebook. Not as a subliminal shot, but just to get that fucking shit into words. You got to think about it. I live alone. Everything I do is alone. I don't have people to fucking vent to. You know what I mean? People in the truth will give you the scripture answer, right? And sometimes the scripture answer, you already know the scripture answer half the time. You know, you just want to punch a nigga in the face that wronged you. You know, that'd be what it is. So you can't do that, because then you get locked up, or you might get your ass beat, because I can't beat the world. So what do? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you do it, when you have conflicts with brothers in the truth, no matter how big or how small the conflict is, it's best to talk to a brother. And I think a lot of us have this custom of holding anger in, because we really don't know. You know, we've had so much experience with people taking no accountability for their actions. So if I pull somebody to the side to speak to him, say, hey bro, you did this wrong to me, you know, you don't want to hear fucking excuses or gaslighting or you know, motherfuckers trying to blame it on you or anything. You want a brother to say, you know what, brother, I did that wrong. My bad. I apologize. I'm not, you know, and sometimes you can't say it won't happen again, because sometimes we are so programmed at the wrong habits that we have that we can't guarantee we won't do something again. We have to get that wrong way of doing things out of our system. You know, so when you're a brother, and this is, you know, because I like to think about things in a 360 way. I like to look at situations from all potential angles, because there's somebody out there that is the recipient of this behavior, and there's somebody out there who's the perpetrator of the behavior. You got men out here that are holding in their anger and not expressing to brother, hey brother, You know, this shit that you did, that was wrong. You know, and it's not something I want to fight back and forth over. I want to resolve this so we can go on and be brothers. You know what I mean? You know, we don't have to have this shit lingering in the, you know, because a lot of times things stay in the back of your mind. A lot of times, you know, brothers be mad at brothers or they be mad subconsciously. They don't even sometimes know they're mad at each other. But anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom, and you know, Lord willing, you know, matter of fact, let's get scripture. This is a scripture I love to pull. Like I love this scripture a lot. Because y'all gonna hear me pull this scripture anytime a brother has a beef with a brother. I'm always pulling this scripture. Every time a brother has a beef with me and then explodes in anger at some point or makes a video about me, I pull the scripture. Matthew 18:6. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 4. Therefore, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Familiarize yourself with the behavioral patterns of children. You know, me, my daughter, you sometimes, like, unless you can see that I'm the grown one, when I interact with my daughter, only because I obviously look like an adult, but behavior-wise, you couldn't tell who's the child, because that's how silly I get. That's how just childish I get, you know. But we have to have the mentality of children, in a sense of sometimes children are actually more mature than adults. They forgive faster. They understand more. It says, and whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, I'm sorry, you know what? That's not the scripture I wanted anyway. 15, it starts at 15. But the same thing applies, but I'm going to skip to 15 to get to the point. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. So if somebody does something against you, even whether they know it or not, if you speak to them and they listen to you, it doesn't mean that you get your way. Sometimes, you know, and this is why when you're mad at a brother, at some point before you step to the brother, it's always best to get them anger demons out of your spirit. Because if you approach the situation with anger, what do you think even wrong people that are wrong don't just take getting cursed out. I remember a nigga, I was cursing a nigga out. He was like, you know what? Because I'm wrong, I'm not gonna spaz out on you, but you know what I'm saying? He's kind of telling me to watch my mouth without telling me to watch my mouth. He admitted he's wrong and that he's in the wrong, but you know, and it's like, you know, I shouldn't have approached that with anger. Although I had every right, and this is the thing and the truth. Shit. I gotta go. Be right back.